business in our VIP days. Now the VIP day is not available today. And, but this is a VIP day that we charge $100,000 just to insert this system into their business. Because they end up making that in like one contract, right? Here's the great news. How many of you would love to get the exact same formula, the exact same system, the exact same strategy that I do with my VIP clients for free in today's class? $150,000. Here's a coupon for $150,000. You're welcome. This is going to be the best investment you spend all year. If you're committed to putting away other windows on your computer, maybe turning off your phone or just flipping it over, if you're committed to taking notes, and if you're committed to taking action based off the information I share with you today, give me one more strong yes in the chat. The more that you engage in the chat, the more that you engage in focusing, the more you're going to actually do it. These are the habits of high performers. Point blank. So that's why we're going to do a lot of call and response so that you can remember and actually do the GovCon sales strategy immediately after the masterclass. Like you're just going to do it. Cool? Awesome. Is it okay with you if I just share a little bit about my story? Okay. Thank you. So because of my decade-long experience earning 6 figures in corporate, finding, producing, and submitting government contracts or proposals for government contracts, I've mastered the subtleties, the strategies, and the tactics essential for winning big. Back in my corporate days, decision makers from across a $7 billion company would bypass their own marketing teams and come to me directly. It wasn't just once or twice. It happened so often. It'd be like something like this. They'd call me and, hey, Melinda, like they'd be like in their quiet voice, you know, they're just kind of like, hey, Melinda, hey, can I send you a draft, a proposal draft? Can you take a look at it before it goes out? I really need your feedback. I'll send it straight to you. Don't put it in the network. I don't want anybody to see it. I'll send you the PDF via email, okay? And just send me notes back. Okay, cool. Thank you so much. I owe you one is a lot of times they said, or what type of wine do you like? Man, I got paid in wine so much. It was like a routine. It was just, it was kind of a joke. And I vividly recall one offsite strategy session at a subcontractor's office. And I was there with my boss. It was just me and my boss. And so we go into the conference room at the sub's office. And we're sitting like in a round table in this conference room. And usually the boss and the sub will like just handle their stuff. And I'm just there to take notes, right? That's not me. I was not built that way. So I'm engaged. I am, just getting it done. I am coming up with strategies. I am coming up with a value proposition. I'm coming up with everything. And the sub in front of my boss, listen to this, in front of my boss says to me, can you just like come and work with us? I will give you the entire department. And I just laughed because I was like, you have to be joking. Like in my mind, I'm like, this has to be a joke. He wasn't joking, y'all. He was like legit offering me a job. My boss was furious. He was like, I mean, I had never seen him that angry. He was like, we don't do that. Da, da, da. Like, we don't post people, blah, blah, blah. Like, da, da, da. Melinda is ours. Da, da, da. Like, they were literally legit fighting over me. And I'm like, guys, can we get back to, like, this is due in a week? Can we back to the proposal, please? And in my head, I'm like, there is something here. There is something here. It's more than just, I'm more than a warm body here. I'm more than just somebody to get it done, right? Because that's what they'll make you believe. They'll make you believe that you're just a warm body, that anybody else can do what you're doing. That is not true. It's a lie. You have an expertise. I have this expertise. That moment I realized how valuable my skills were. But something else was like bothering me, because it was just like, okay, they're fighting, like legit arguing with each other. All, I mean, just body language and all. It wasn't just words. It was just like one had like a red face. My boss was just like, his palms were down on the desk. The other one was leaning back. His face was red, and he was closing his eyes. He was talking like that. Like they were arguing, and I'm just like, I don't understand. Like, are you guys arguing over me? You know, in my head, I'm just like, I'm just not going to talk because I got stuff to do. Like, this is, I'm not here to play. And it was bothering me. Something was bothering me. And the thing it was like, how come I never knew about government contracting? Because they didn't call it government contracting. I got to tell you that. They never called it government contracting. They called it proposal development. Like, if you go and you Google proposal development, you'll find a lot of job opportunities open available, because they never explained or never wanted people to know the value of what we did. And what I figured out is the way to actually tailor the message to be unique and different. I have had when I was in corporate, I had so many companies trying to poach me left and right. They found out that I was interested in leaving. Oh my gosh, I was getting phone calls, like interviews the same day. Got the job, cool. By the end of the week, I was already putting in my 2 weeks. Got anything I wanted. It wasn't me, I thought. I thought it wasn't me. I thought it wasn't my system. I thought it wasn't my strategy. I really believed that it was just the role. I thought that in order to make this system work, I had to be working for someone else. I thought it would only work for corporations. I thought it only worked with billion-dollar companies. And then I worked for a small fit out, making like 5-10 million a year. And I'm like, oh, I don't think it's gonna work. Same system, same strategy, selling something completely different. And it worked. The same strategy worked. And I was like, well, it's not going to work for startups. Well, fast forward, I start my agency, and I'm using the exact same strategy that I'm going to tell you right now, the GovCon sales strategy, the exact same steps to help companies in different industries win government contracts. Our win rate, just so you can understand what happened, okay? The industry average for winning government contracts for starters, for people who have never been in this market before, who have never submitted a proposal, is 10 to 20%. Now, if you submitted 10 proposals, then that stat is saying that you will win 1 to 2 of the 10 that you submit. Me and my team's win rate is 74.6%, almost 75. So for every 10, we win 7 to 8. And that's an average. We have a lot of clients that are winning all of them. Like it's almost uncommon to lose than it is common to win. It is the complete opposite for us, because we just understand what the government actually is saying and how to respond to them properly. Because I guarantee you this, 100% guarantee you, you could record this part of the video. I 100% guarantee you this strategy you will not find anywhere else. This is a strategy that has helped me build relationships with government clients, procurement officers throughout the entire country. They're like, whatever you did, they tell my clients, like, whatever you did, do it again. Do it again. That proposal that you submitted in May versus last year, way better. And they're like, what'd you do different? Oh, well, we hired a consultant. Keep them. There was this one contract. There was this one contract through my agency. There's a brand new client. Actually, you know what? I'm going to show them to you. Let's see here. Share. Yeah, there you go. Okay, share. All right. So yeah, this is Mike, company of one. And he started his business in 2019. God bless him, right before the panorama. And when he came to me, it was mid 2020, late 2020. And he won, with our help, he won 7 out of 7 6 figures contracts. The wording is, it seems like the wording seems a little off. You're like, oh, he made 6 figures in 3 months. No. There's 6 figures per contract. So it was like 150,000 times 7. And that's what he made in 3 months, a company of one. And he grew his company. Now I think he's at 4 employees, and he's keeping his expenses really low. But he's doing really amazing. I'm really proud of him. So this is Market Ed. So Market Ed came to us. This was 2021. I want to say 2022. It was 2022, I think. And they had a terrible situation happen. I mean, it was awful, actually. Market Ed, there was a partnership of 3 people. Type 3 in the chat. 3 partners. They went into business in 2006 together. And in the midst of the panorama, one of the partners up and left and said, you know what? I'd prefer to be your competitor in the same market, take half your team and half your clients. You're welcome. Oh, by the way, don't change the company name. I still want to be in it. And yes, by the way, legally, you still have to pay me for all the work that I brought in. Like, that's some cojones, right? Like, that's, don't stand next to that guy, right? Like, lightning will strike and I shall not be there. But they came with all of this like stress and panic because they lost half their team. Their clients are going crazy. Like, what just happened? Where is the partner? What's the third partner? Where are these people? Why aren't they running our jobs? They're not doing the projects, all of this stuff. And they're trying to figure that out in addition to trying to maintain revenue. Imagine that happening. Maybe that happened to you. Imagine that happening. That is awful. Like, that is the worst thing. Like, someone just saying, you know what, I'm going to take the money we've made together and make you start all over again. By the way, guys, let me tell you something. The partner that left was in charge of business development. These guys were not. They were charged internally as in operations. So they were not involved in any of the business development. So they were just like deer in headlights. What do we do? And they came to me, and I said, I got you. Just continue doing business. Send me the opportunities that you want to submit, and I'll take it from there. Just trust me. They didn't know me from Adam's apple. Like, they didn't know me from anybody. They're in Boston. I'm in Florida. They had never met me before. They met me via email, and we started doing business immediately. We won so much dang on projects for them. It was like there's so much work. The first, I'm gonna say like the first, because we were on a winning streak for a good amount of time. I'm gonna say it was like the first maybe 12, 15 contracts were won. A lot of them were with clients they had no experience, no relationship with, none at all. And they told me when they were giving me the RFPs, they said, we don't expect to win these because they don't know us. And we just want to get a debrief so that we could go to their office and, have a conversation, blah, 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 introduce ourselves, etc., and use this as an opportunity to do that. That was their thought, right? Well, bless their hearts, right? And so I was like, okay, cool, no problem. In my head, I'm like, we're gonna win this. Like, you don't know my track record. This is what I do. I didn't tell them that because they had enough on their plate. So I was just like, cool, no problem, absolutely. I'll just we'll back this. And they gave me all the information, and I just sifted through it, and I was just like, I can't use half of this stuff, and I didn't. I ended up recreating all of their stuff, and they got the review for draft, but it was too late. They were just like, what is this? And I was just like, well, it's due tomorrow. And, and they were like, it's too late, at least it's something, right? At least it's something. And they submitted, and this one local client, man, it was so funny. It was so funny. They get a phone call. Actually, it was a private, it is a government. I'll talk about that later, but like, it was a government client. And how they advertise was through the public procurement, but technically they're a private client. I'll explain in a second. So anyway, so they get the phone call. Hey, can you send over the rest of your paperwork? And they're like, who is this? And so the client was like, hey, we want you to review the sample agreement. And they were like, okay. So they sent that over, they had their attorneys review it, blah, blah, blah. They won that contract. It was 18 million. They won that contract without knowing the client, without having any prior experience with that client. None. The client had no idea who they were. None. And they won an $18 million contract. This is common. This is very common. And I remember like we had like these monthly check-in calls. And I remember he was like, have you ever been in that situation where you do something so good that it's like, it's second nature to you. And so you don't expect it to be that awesome. But for someone else, they're like, that was amazing. What did you do? Like, how did you do that kind of thing? Has that ever happened to you? This is what was happening right now, right? Yeah. Anyway, Mark and Ed, 18 months with us, rebuilt what they lost in not only employees, but they actually exceeded what they had before, to be honest. They rebuilt a backlog of $1 billion in new business with the government. 1 billion. It was just so many other contracts. It was just contracts after contract. An additional $1 billion in a new opportunity. It was just one. This was a $1.4 billion contract with, by the way, a client they'd never worked with, that didn't really know them that well. There was one person on their team that they submitted strategically that helped them win, but nobody in leadership. And the other thing is they didn't even know how to price it, and they didn't have a portfolio of relevant experience. We were very creative with that. So it's 1 billion plus 1 billion, it's $2 billion. That's what that means there. And then here's Aparna. So Aparna is one of our she's one of our David and Goliath stories. So Aparna came to us, and she's a person, she's a one-person firm, just like Mike. But here's the story with Aparna. She came to us and was like, come back to the chat here. Okay, cool. She came to us and was like, okay, well, I got this RFP. I really want this job. I want this contract. Can you help us win it? Can you help me win it? And I was just like, well, let's take a look, right? Again, just, have you ever undervalued yourself? I mean, we all do it, right? We're just like, oh, I don't want to say 100%, because then what if and so that's what I did. I was just like, well, the system seems to be working for these businesses because they're all established. But Aparna, Mike was a different situation. That was luck. It only happened once. But Aparna, I don't know if it'll happen again with Aparna. I mean, because she's a company of one, right? She's never submitted a prime contract ever. She's always been always a subcontractor. And I was like, well, we'll see. That was me, like, just taking in this doubt, not being pro, being an amateur. And I was just like, okay, let me take a look. And as soon as I saw the RFP and I was reviewing everything, and I realized that the RFP itself was a no-brainer. I was just like, okay, there must be something missing, because my strategy is perfect for this RFP. It's going to win. I was telling this to myself. I'm like, this is going to win, but I feel like it's going to be too easy. And I remember having conversations with Aparna, having these meetings with Aparna, and she was just like, what do I do? And I said, do this, do this, do this. And I was just like, okay, this is our strategy. This is our value prop. This is just like outlining everything. And I said, what do you think? And she's like, I don't know, I guess. And she said to me, she goes, I hope I land into your win rate. I hope that I'm one of the winning clients that you have, that you serve. And I said, okay. I was like, we got you. We got you. So Aparna submitted the proposal on a Thursday. She went to an event the following Tuesday and bumped into the procurement officer. Guys, procurement officer was like, hey, what's up, Aparna? Yeah, we're going to send you the documentation, the contract, and the agreement, all that stuff, and make sure that you get into billing on Tuesday. And she's like, she called me up. She was in the bathroom. She called me up from the event, and she was just like, I think I just found out I got a contract. And I was like, that's amazing. Make sure you get it written, like in writing, And so she's like, it's not going to be until Tuesday. And I'm like, okay, that's okay. So Tuesday comes, and she forwards me a screenshot of the email with the value amount accepted by this government client. It was a $1.4 million contract that this one person company, a solopreneur, won on her own. Oh, guys. Oh, but there's more. She had 11 other competitors. And we looked them up, because that's public record. We looked them up, and we saw that every single competitor had an established business, had been in business for decades, was like big, had big teams, all this stuff. She won against all of them, 11 of them. A solopreneur won $1 million contract going up against these bigger companies. Isn't that amazing? And that's when I realized that my strategy, it doesn't just work for corporations. It doesn't just work for established businesses. It doesn't just work for people that have done business with the government. It works for startups and people that have never done business with the government before. This is my strategy. So that I was like, I have to share this with everyone. This is my duty. Like, I have to give this away. I have to give this away. It's fantastic, Samantha. Exactly. It was like, it's not just me. It's not the system. It's not the perfect situation. It's actually my strategy that I developed. It's not just when it only works in corporate. No, it only works in the perfect scenario. No, it's this system. It's this strategy. I was terrified. I wouldn't be successful if I wasn't helping someone with a whole lot of experience doing business with the government. I was really terrified to step in to becoming a pro and just let go of being an amateur. I was concerned about what other people would think. Oh, she must think she's all that, right? Company's growing so fast and she's making all this money and her stats are unbelievable. When I tell people, when I say the words, I've helped clients win or acquire over $4 billion with a B dollars of new business in the last 4 years, it goes right over people's heads. And I'm like, they don't get it. They don't get it. The government spends an average of $3.6 trillion a year, and I've just helped my clients win $4 billion of that. People don't get it. And I didn't get it either. I didn't believe in, I really did believe in myself. That's the truth. I didn't believe in myself. But with these results, and you step back and you look at the results of these clients, you're like, what? No. There's got to be more people winning. There's got to be, it's a win-win for everybody. It's a win for the government because that's less garbage that they have to review, to be honest. They're going to be like, thank you, Jesus. More proposals that make sense. More compliance that makes sense. More strategies that make sense. More proposals about us that make sense. The clients are happy because y'all are making money. Like, the reason why this masterclass is called GovCon Millions is because I expect you all to make millions of dollars through government contract, period. Because I've seen it happen over and over again with the strategy. Okay. You're like, what's the strategy? I want to tell you. But can you see, I now have the skill that pays the bills. Out of nothing, I brought something. Out of nowhere, I created value. I brought forth something that produced wealth. Whatever you're looking for is on the other side of government contracting. Fast forward 4 years, my agency has become one of the notable go-to agencies for proposals for government contracting, helping companies across the United States, China, Mexico, and Canada. We've thrived on retainers. Our retainer rate is usually 97% client retention, and our close rate is practically 100%. All of it, the majority of our work is referral based. Because everybody's like, you need to go to Melinda. She's going to win you. She's going to get you some of that money. I've worked in more than a dozen industries, including SaaS, hospitality, retail, commercial real estate, construction, health and wellness, so many others. And so I learned how to submit proposals in every single one of those industries. And as my agency started doing more projects, I had to take that 5-step sales strategy, I had to take that GovCon sales strategy, and I had to build a system. Anybody know how to run a business? That is just nonsense, right? Type of 1, if you know what I'm saying, when you don't have a system, it's a very sad moment. It's really hard to run a successful business without systems, right? Because I'm like, I got the strategy. And then my company grew so fast. Like I was in business around 8 months before I was required to start hiring because we were going so fast. And I needed a system. I didn't have a system. So I had to build a system. The system that we built was for the majority of our work, which was government contracting. So we had to take the system or the strategy and build a system that would complement the strategy and execute effortlessly and successfully over and over and over again. And that resulted in I got a chance to build a training program, walking through step by step, that I've helped so many companies implement into their business, big enterprises paying me money to do that. So I want to show you briefly. We're not going to go through all the things because it takes a while, because there are a lot of pieces and parts, but I'm going to show you for a second what that system piece looks like. Okay, so this is one of the pieces of the system. This is broken out into the entire proposal process. This business info sheet, this is for you to have one document with all of your information, so you're not having to scramble and get it. When you start offloading the proposal process to someone else, you have everything all in one place. You're not like, we want to start organized so that we can scale fast, right? We want to make money. Okay. But here is one of the tools that we created. And it's called, oh, you can't see it now. Let's see. Here we go. Okay. So it's called the project management plan. So the project management plan, what it does is it helps you organize all the information out of the proposal into one document. That way you can keep track of what's going on for each opportunity. You see, because what's going to happen is you're going to see, so once you find your mix code and you go to, when you do your market research, you're going to find dozens. I mean, you're going to find there are going to be so many opportunities. You're going to be like, how do I keep track of it all? So we have a parent spreadsheet similar to this that helps you keep track of every single opportunity. Let me see if I can pull it up really quick. Here it is. Okay. I think I need to click share again. Here, okay. That was easy. So the opportunity tracker matrix helps you keep track of every single opportunity that you will come across. And here's the thing, write this down. You don't want to just find opportunities that are active. You want to find opportunities that are closed, that are pending, like every single status. So when you go into the like sam.gov or the procurement site, like on like Demand Star or MyGovWatch. MyGovWatch is my favorite. I can share with you my affiliate link for that because it's the best one. And it's way cheaper too. To find opportunities, you're going to just make sure the status is on all. When you see all of those opportunities pop up for under your NAICS codes, those are the ones that you're going to put here. Every status, doesn't matter. Why? Because what's going to happen is that most of those opportunities are going to come back next year. So it actually helps you build a sales pipeline from looking at past contracts, because you just pick up the phone You call a procurement officer, say, hey, I'm really interested in doing business with you. I saw that you had an RFP and you give them the RFP number. Will this be coming out again? Right? We have scripts for all of that stuff, what to say. And they either say yay or nay. They say, oh, actually, we will be advertising in a modified RFP soon, or we're just going to go in a different route, like all this information. But now you can put track to it and see, when do I need to get prepared? What information? What's the scope of work? What is the value of the contract? All of that stuff beforehand. Like, and then you're looking at the RFPs like previously, like most of the time, all of those questions are going to be the same. Most of the time, they're going to be the same questions. Right? And so now you already know the questions, and then, there's so much. Then you just look at the past incumbents, like who won, who submitted. You see how they responded? And you model what's working right. You get the scoring sheet, just model what's working right. And now you have a proposal ready. Super simple, right? So that's what the spreadsheet does. It's like we have the entire system already done for you. You just use it. And we have a step-by-step guide that walks you through how to use proposal process, and including business development and market research, everything. And so then I found that there is a pattern that makes government clients say yes, almost always. You're probably like, what's the thing, Melinda? I know that's what we're going to do right now. I'm just demonstrating to you how exciting and important these skills can create immediate wealth for you through your business. Someone type in the chat, wealth creation. If they're like, wealth creation sounds amazing to me right now. Like many of you, I was inside of a system that taught to work for someone else. Anybody else? Does anybody else remember being told to go to school, go to college, get a job? Anyone else hear that? Did anyone else pay for college or is still paying college? Like, this is a safe space, y'all. Wasn't it a lot of time we spent in school and no one ever taught us about how to become wealthy? Imagine, I'm telling you, Samantha, still paying. Yep. Now let's think about it. Like, imagine, just remember back. There were maybe like 30 people in your class, 40 people in your one academic class. If you went to a private school, public school, there's probably a couple hundred people in your class, and every single one paid the same tuition. Man, y'all, we were looking at it completely the wrong way, weren't we? We were like, we're going to learn everything from the person in front of us that's never done it before. And that sounds amazing. And versus, I mean, that dude was in the system too. He didn't even know what was going on. But the school was making bank. The school was making bank. They taught us how to be a worker. That's right, Samantha. Like, I need you to work for us. You see, that's how the system was built. Like, you go to school, get a job, you work for somebody else so someone else can make money. And that's when I realized that government contracting is the secret that the wealthy people were not intending to tell everybody else about. That's the truth. That's the truth. Like, let that sink in, because the government contracting is not brand new. This is how the government returns money back to us from the taxes that we spent. That's $3.6 trillion is our money that gets siphoned and then filtered back to do everything that roads, bridges, schools, lighting, right? Sidewalks, signage, inauguration dinner, right? Everything, like, it's all of our money. But nobody ever told us that. They wanted us to be financially illiterate. They wanted us to not know how the system works. I'm telling you right now, the system wasn't made for 9-to-5ers. They weren't made for people to run a job, go to work somewhere, someone else. That wasn't, the whole system was made for entrepreneurs. The whole system was made for entrepreneurs. People that were going to take control over their lives. Amateurs are going to stay in the system. Amateurs are not going to move, take action. No, they don't take action. Amateurs don't take action. They sit in the stadium eating their popcorn, talking about the pro athletes running the race, taking action, becoming the best of the best in their field, becoming the authority. The amateurs are talking about all that. Pros don't care what amateurs say. Pros don't care about anybody else. Like, they're like, I have to leave the earth fulfilling something, taking care of myself and my family, giving back to the community, giving back to the world. I don't have time for that. I don't have time. I have to utilize my valuable time building a legacy so that I can give back what was given to me. Okay. I'm going to take a swag real quick. See, I get really excited about this stuff. But they didn't teach us how to become wealthy. And they didn't tell us how they were getting wealthy. But now that you see the universities, the Ivy Leagues are struggling to get people to go to their schools, because guess what? You know what COVID did? COVID, just like darkness and how the sun puts things in light, COVID just revealed all of it. COVID said, whoops, we can't keep things secret anymore. Whoops. And now the entire world knows that there's opportunities. Do you know, in the last 3 years, there have been more millionaires created than the last decade? People are like, wait a minute. What did you just do? Have you ever tried Googling like billionaires on social media, or like going on Instagram and Facebook? I have. I've tried to look for, like, the Zimmerman family that's like, created ABC News and ABC, the network. They're not on social media. They're not on social media. Guess what? They're doing government contracts. Elon Musk is doing government contracts. Jeff Bezos is doing government contracts. Oprah Winfrey, she's done government contracts. We just saw, what's her face? Jessica Alba at the White House. Guys, that was a government contract. You know that they paid her. She didn't do it out of the kindness of her heart. Those are government contracts. They don't want us to know this stuff, right? Not saying the celebrities don't want us to be wealthy, but those that have wealth, right? And there are all types of sinners. But those that have wealth, sometimes they're greedy. But we're not those people, because we're pros. We know what it looks like to be an amateur, and we know what it looks like to be a pro. We're just ready to level up to the next level. Can I get an amen? Let's go. That makes so much sense, Samantha, right? I really do not like social media. Can we talk about how the creators of social media and the internet actually don't let their kids use the products that they created. There's something wrong with that. All right, so let me get to it. Get on my my rant. I appreciate you guys letting me rant for a moment. Let's get to it. All right. I'm going to use my fancy pants. Remarkable. By the way, I love this. Okay. Share. Boom. Okay, great. So I want to tell you, if you probably heard this before, and it's called the 4 levels of value. And the first time I heard about the 4 levels of value, it was from Myron Golden, who shared it with me. And write this down. Income is the result of value you created in the marketplace. I'll say it one more time. Income is the result of value you've created in the marketplace. Okay. So there are 4 levels of value. You have to make the noise when you do that too. So the first level is implementation. So implementation, we're the people that live at this level or function at this level. I don't want to say they live there because, but they function at this level. They're people who use their muscle to make money. They use their body to make money. Okay. These are performers. These are painters, landscapers, people that wash your car, doing nails, right? You're like using your body to make money. Muscles. And the lie that they believe at this level is that working hard equals wealth. That's the lie they believe. Now, there's an average, there's a cap, the majority is capped at $80,000 in income. $80,000 a year. I don't know about you, $80,000 doesn't go very far these days. $80,000 does not go very far these days. $80,000 is about a tank of gas a week for 12 months. It does not go very far anymore. And then there is unification. So the step above that. There's my chat. I lost my chat. Okay. And unification. So these are managers. These are people who are unifying people, unifying the implementers. Type in the chat, run, if you've been a manager that you're like, I just want to run away. run far, far, far away from you people. Run. And unifiers, because they're managing people, they have what's called golden handcuffs. Have you guys ever heard that term, golden handcuffs? They have golden handcuffs. They're controlled. They know they are making more money. They've elevated their lifestyle so that they can keep up with the Joneses, all knowing that they can never leave. Like it's conditioned. They're like told and they believe I can never leave this job. I never want to leave this job because nowhere else will they pay me this much money every year. In order to make this money, I have to be here. I have to live a very sad life. I have to be depressed. I have to start taking drugs. I have to start drinking. I have to go through 20,000 divorces. I have to insert a blank. Very, very sad, very hard, very difficult, very challenging life. The lie that unifiers believe is that more education equals success. I need another certification. I need another degree. I need to keep climbing the corporate ladder. That's what they believe. Managers, for the majority, they have a max limit of how much they can make, and it's usually about 500,000. It's very hard to escape. Yes, it is, Laura. And now we move on to communication. Communication. That's right. Okay. Good job, Melinda. Communication. These are actors, singers. Who else? Put in the chat. Who else is a communicator? Coaches, consultants. Does that include corporate CEOs? Majority unifiers are corporate CEOs. Yep. They're at like, I've heard 550, 750 a year. Yeah. Speakers, great communicators. Salespeople, consultants. I mean, in order to make money as an entrepreneur, we all have to be communicators, right? I mean, unless we're broken, we're not really talking to anybody. Been there, done that, has a t-shirt. But here, communicators are at the communication level. They've mastered conversations that make cash flow. The resource that they use is their mouth. Whereas unifiers, the resource that they use is like they're managing people. So it's just everything. They're using every body element. Implementers are using their muscles. Are you guys like, I don't know. When I do this, when I go over the 4 levels of value, I always feel lighter as we go higher up. Does anybody feel that? I'm like, feels great. Let's be communication. So there is I don't want to say a limit, but it is a limit actually, because God created us to live in abundance. He put gold in the garden, and we just decide not to see that. We were just limiting ourselves. Anyway, so communication is $100 million. That's the limit that they can earn. And then the last level is imagination. And so let me give you a few examples. Imagination, like the Walt Disney Imagineers, Steve Jobs. The name escapes me. The creator of ChatGPT, who, by the way, I think they're making like. I got mad one day and I was just like, I wonder how much they're making in continuity, like in a subscription, because you know how like there's a free version and then there's like a paid version for ChatGPT. And I want to say they make like 350 billion a month or something. Something crazy. And I was just like, what? I was like, that's crazy, you know? But so Imagineers, they use their mind. Thank you, Sam Altman. They've used their mind and money to make more money. And like, you ever thought, and it's okay, like I feel like at one point we've all thought this, well, I can't do what they do because I'm not them, right? And we've like separated ourselves from those people. We're like, I can't do that. I can't create that. I can't blah blah that, right? Here's the cool thing about imagination. Here's a cool thing about God. I'm just going to talk about God because that's what I love talking about. God created us to be Imagineers. He freed us, Jesus Christ freed us from being implementers. But yet the world says we should stay at implementation. God himself legit told Adam and Eve, us, that we have dominion over the world and the creatures that live among it. That we were to create like he creates. He never told us to implement. He never said, I need you to stay at implementation. Just rake some leaves. Just stay there. Don't worry about anything else. Don't think for yourself. God never said that. In fact, we have a direct connection to him. And how often do we use that connection? Real talk. How often do we listen to him? When we have that amazing idea, we're like, oh my gosh, that would have been so cool. And then, oh, I'm not them. I don't have the money. Who am I? I can't, right? We are legit royalty. We were created to create. We are royalty. We are royalty. We can create. We can manifest. And things will magically become because of our belief and trust in him. And yet we are afraid to step into that. So many people stay small and never grow. You see, there's no such thing as a perfect moment, right? We all know this. We're like, okay, when the time is right, I will go do the thing. When the time is right, I'll start with government contracting. When the time is right, I will make sure that we are all wealthy. When the time is right, why do we have to wait until we're running out of time to make time right? Why can't we just start now? And I can say this with all confidence that you already know. You've heard of government contracting. Why haven't you taken action? It's not because coaches and consultants don't exist. I just told you a whole bunch of case studies that we've done, my team and I have completed, and results in billions for our client. But what's holding us back is our own belief in what we could do. Like, it's almost as if, and I'm going to say it with all the love that I have for you, because I truly, truly love you. It's almost as if we're afraid to be successful. Because there's really nothing stopping us. Like, we were meant to be creators. We were meant to be Imagineers. We were meant to communicate. We were meant to be on a mountaintop, speaking to the masses, proclaiming goodness, loving many, helping the community, serving people with our skills and talents and gifts. We were meant to do that. But fear slows us down. You see, broke people, broke in mindset, they will stay at level 1 and 2. Wealthy people, wealth in mindset, they'll jump to 3 and 4. as fast as they can, because they know that abundance doesn't lie at 1 and 2. Abundance lies at 3 and 4, where they were created to be. Give me a create in the chat. If you understand what I'm saying, you resonate with this. It's like, I get this. You're because here's the takeaway. It's not about working harder. It's about working higher. Wealth isn't attracted to hard work. Wealth isn't attracted to our effort. Wealth isn't attracted to long hours. Wealth isn't attracted to our stress. Wealth isn't attracted to overwhelm. Wealth isn't attracted to being chained to your desk. Wealth is attracted to working higher, not harder. How many of you are just tired of working hard on what's already not working? Stop just working hard. Stop working on something that's not working. When you start winning government contracts, you're going to get rid of a lot of stress, a lot of overwhelm. Let's just quantum leap to level 4. Start submitting winning proposals that deliver results that clients are already waiting for you. They're already lined up. They're like, will you take our money? Because we have a goal to spend this money. That's it. It's our own fear. There's nothing else missing out of this formula. Does that sound fun? Like, can we just start making money now? Wait, like, would that be okay if we just, sure. We just like relinquished the fear and we stepped into being the royal prince or princess that we were meant to be, created to be, that we just elevated to imagination and communicate out into the world how God created us for something bigger and greater. How we're just tired of staying small. You know how much energy it requires for a butterfly to stay in a cocoon? It dies. We're meant to elevate. We're meant to evolve. If a seed never sprouts out of the ground, it's dead. It never shades anyone. It never becomes the thing it's supposed to be. See, you and I, we're created to do so much more than what we're doing right now. Imagine working less, making more, having freedom to do whatever you want with your time, all while being celebrated by your clients, having authority in what you do. And the coolest part is your clients will be the ones who are the most grateful. They will be thanking you. Thank you so much for stepping up. Your clients will be the one getting the results the fastest. Your clients will be the recipients of your value. And you're going to get wealthy in the process. That's just the result. How many of you want rich people problems? Say rich in the chat. Like, let's just be real. Like, we're like, I don't know what to do with my taxes. I got too much taxes. I got to buy something. Call the attorney. Call our investors. What can we buy? What can we buy right now? Excuse me. Yeah, I want some rich people problems. All right. If you would like to share some ahas, some takeaways before we move into the system, I can mute you. and you can share. Who wants to go first? That was fun, right? So, what's up, Laura?
Hi. Yeah. Oh, there's so much. I've written loads of notes. Hold on. Oh, time to do my hair. Um, do you know what? That the I think the aha for me, like the biggest aha through the whole thing, has been like there are government contracts for bread. You know what I mean? That there's so many government contracts, which like I think you said $83,000. I'm just like, there's so it like we all just like whinge and moan about the government, but why don't we become their supplier, right? And I think that really hit that really kind of like I was just like, yeah, I mean, I don't sell bread, but I was thinking like, I love the yeah, just massive pool of opportunity. I was thinking for my business, I have a partner in the US, so I know I'm English, but both countries have government contracts, and so we're really interested in what you've got. Um, but actually, there's so much opportunity to get these big contracts, I think, and finding something like this where I can work with somebody who's already, you know what I mean? I've kind of dabbled in it in the past, but they're like 150 pages worth of, and you just feel like you don't know what you're doing. And it takes so long and you don't know what you're doing. And interesting, your statistic about like 1 in 10, you get 1 in 10 contracts, but it takes so much time to do one of them, right?
Right.
And I kind of think that's quite a generous statistic. If I did 10 proposals, would I get one of them? I don't know. So I think it's yeah, the vastness of opportunities really kind of hit me whilst I've been doing this masterclass. So thank you. That's really yeah. I'm just like 83,000 on bread for the inauguration party, really? So you got to think bigger. You got to think higher. Thank you.
Awesome. Give it up for Laura. That was great. 100%. That stat about 10 to 20 on average for a small business is legit real. And it's legit scary because you said that there are some proposals that are so big, but that's why our strategy can allow for people to get a 74% win rate,
Mm.
if not higher. So
And
good.
I and sorry, one other thing that also really like you don't have to be big companies, right? You don't have to. I think that was a real kind of like, really, can we really go for these kind of contracts in our business? There's two of us. Can we really go for those contracts? So that was a really aha moment for me. Thank
Awesome.
you.
Awesome. Thank you. Sam, I think I saw your hand was up, Samantha. Awesome. Awesome. Okay, let me awesome. All right.
I'm really sorry that I missed the first part of this, but I think for my aha moment is looking at the stages of growth. And I've seen that before from Myron Golden, and it of course impacted me then, but at the top level, it looked, it was so interesting because the way my mind works, I'm all about ideas. I'm all about creating. I'm all about, I just want to use my brain and create things and put it out there in the world. But, again, being groomed to be a worker and to stay in your place and to stay at the implementation level, um, has been, I don't think not where I'm stuck, but I'm at the unification level now, so it's like, but I want more. And I made a declaration that I'm going to be a millionaire. And I'm just what's the avenue? What's the way that I want to get there has been where I'm waiting for the aha moment, the this is it. And yes, the vehicle to reach that point, not because I just want to be filthy rich. Of course, I want that, but also because I want to make an impact in the world. I want to be a philanthropist. I want to leave a legacy for my family, my kids. And I cannot do that and do all the things I want to do in the world to be impactful if I'm struggling financially. That just can't happen. And I'm just happier when I have more money. So money does make you happy. It brings you happiness. So yes, that remembering that I can use my imagination. I can step into my creator role so that I can receive the wealth because of the value I'm giving to the market and and make an impact at the same time. So that's the biggest aha moment takeaway for me. And maybe it's the figuring out the vehicle, the way to get to the millions is what I was supposed to do this year so that next year I can literally start putting those things into action and, have the contracts, multi-million dollar contracts, as a solopreneur, but I also have in my other business a team of consultants that I'm bringing together. So I think that's going to also be impactful too.
Woo, amazing, Samantha. Thank you so much for sharing.
Sure.
100%. You have everything you need to start right now. 100%. It can take as long or as little as you decide. It's like, I'm trying to remember the quote. It says, I can't remember specifically, but if you choose that it's going to take longer, it will. If you choose that it'll take less time, because that is in our control. 100%. And the vehicle, we're going to dive into the vehicle now. Are you guys having fun? I feel like we're having a little bit of fun. I'm having fun. Are you having fun? Give me a fun in the chat and we're having some fun. It's like unlocking the opportunities that are just right there. Like Samantha said, I'm going to be filthy rich. I love the confidence in that because that's exactly what you will be. Now we just need to get the vehicle. Cool. So we're ready to move on to the next thing. We're ready to move on. All right. Okay. So let me go back to my trusty remarkable here. Oh, well, thank you. All right. And let's talk about the 5-step strategy called GovCon sales strategy. So we can hurry up and get this. Let's do it. All right. Here, cool. The first step 1, is prepare. I'll tell you right now. Most people won't do this part. Most people won't do this part. They'll just do the step that they're most comfortable with, which is just going out and getting the contracts. That is, in my opinion, the reason why conversions are so low for new government contractors, because they're not doing it in the right order. Type order, if you understand, things in life happen in a specific order. Like we can't be like, I want an apple tree and go to the grocery store and buy an apple and plant the apple into the ground and get an apple tree tomorrow. Like that don't make no sense, right? Because there is a specific order to things. Things have to happen in a specific order. It starts with prepare. So, oh, there you go. Okay. So one of the things I study is that poor people almost always never prepare, or they're slow to prepare. They're like, I'll take my time, step by step, one day, when I have money, right? When I have the time. It's always like when an external element will give me permission to have the desire that God has already put into me. Do you hear the order of things? Like, I will one day achieve God's purpose in my life once I have all the things that I believe I need in order to achieve it. Do we believe that God is a perfect God? He's not here like trying to put us up a creek without a paddle, like just waiting, like, well, I'll start moving once I get a paddle. No, never. We already have everything we need to start moving. We have to prepare. We have to get order. We have to have order in order for things to move in the right direction. Sometimes it just takes a step back in order for us to propel forward. A step back. So what are we going to do and prepare? Prepare is organizing our business. Do we have the right bank accounts? Do we have a tax number? I mean, they sound really basic, but I can't tell you how many companies function without these things in place. Is our bank account under our current business name that we choose to do business with the government, right? Have we paid our taxes for a company? Do we have the right documentation? Do we know what we're delivering to the client? Now there are different strategies in terms of what you can sell to the government. You can be a dispatcher where you're just delivering everything, whatever is advertised, you just submit. There's plenty of companies that do that. You could be a middleman where you're just helping primes and subcontractors do business with each other, and then you just get a piece of the pie. You could be a subcontractor where you're just like, you know what? I don't want to take all the risk. So I'm just going to work my scope of work and then just get a good cut, a nice healthy cut, bringing this deal to the prime. I'm building the direct relationship with the client, which will inevitably open up more doors and opportunities for me. So however you choose to go, we first need to find out, what are we delivering? What are we delivering? What are the services that we can deliver? Where are the testimonials? Where are the reviews? Where are the case studies? Where are the descriptions of our scope of work? Do we have a system? What is our project management plan? If you don't have those things, that's okay, when it comes to descriptions, but you at least need to have the back end side of your company, the company information, when your company was established, a description of, like a bio about your company. It's called an about us oftentimes. How many offices, how many employees, how many contractors, what's the hourly rates? Like, having all of that information in one place, like I showed you in that document that's in our system, will save you a ton of time, and you will come across professional. It goes beyond what you put in a capability statement. This is not, we're not talking capability statement is just one little sliver of what business information you need to have. But you need to decide. How, and specifically, like how Samantha said it, how is it going to come across that I'm going to make millions? What are the steps that I choose to achieve that? Because there's plenty of ways to do that, but what am I going to be focused? What am I going to be disciplined on fulfilling, on implementing in order to do that? Okay. Excuse me. I'm going to push you guys a little bit because I want you guys to take quick action. I want you guys to take quick action. See, amateurs are going to move slowly. Pros, they move, they take action because they know that time is of essence. Time is the most valuable asset that you have. You could wait, but God's like, I already gave you the answer. I already told you the purpose. I already told you the dream. Take steps towards the direction, and it'll go much faster than you ever thought possible. Guaranteed. Every time, because that's how he created things. Assume the identity of who you really are. Like, it's somebody that's going to step up and take action. See, amateurs are not going to show up to a masterclass like this. Amateurs are going to be in the stadium, eating their popcorns and bonbons, drinking their soda pop. Pros are going to be in the arena, right? So how are you going to go pro? Right now, I want you guys to divorce yourself from everything someone else will say about you and go pro. Like right now, say, that's it. That's it. I'm done. I'm done waiting. You said I couldn't do this. They said that I don't have what it takes. They said that I don't have the personality. They said that I didn't have the talent. They said that I didn't have the capability. They said that it wouldn't work for me. They said, who do you think you are? But I'm going to say, I'm going pro right now. I don't care what you say. Somebody type of the word pro in the chat. The amateurs are going through stuff. They're going to throw stuff at you all the time from the sidelines. They will never, ever get into the arena. The amateurs are going to talk behind your back and criticize and naysay you, but they will never go pro. And just say, that's okay, I love you, but I'm going pro. If you're with me right now, say yes for you. Say, I'm with you, Melinda. You need to see that you inside of you. What's really causing your overwhelm, what's really causing your doubt, it's not what you think it is. What's really causing your stress, all of that is hiding. It takes more energy to hide than it is to just be. What's stressing you out is not going pro. So step one is to prepare. How many of you have talked about government contracts within your circle of friends, family, colleagues? Talked about it, you're like, yeah, man, there's so many opportunities, this is amazing. Small businesses often secure contracts ranging between $50,000 and $150,000 on average, especially for service-oriented consulting work. $150,000. You know, I gotta explain to you what these contracts are, because I think people say, oh man, that must be a whole year. And you can only do one at a time. Nope. $150,000 can be just like that, the bread RFP that I saw for the inauguration dinner at $83,000 for one dinner. How many days are there in a year? There are 365 of them. That's a lot of money. You do one a day. Hey, let's take weekends off. You know what? I'm going to take Christmas. I'm going to take Thanksgiving, November and December off as well. Why not January? I'm just only going to work from February to October and take the rest of the year off. And you would be a multi-millionaire selling bread. How about that? You see, because there's more than one contract and more than one RFP for what you do. They're like layered, right? They're just like any other marketplace. There are more than one company needing your services, period. So there might be one that's like, hey, you can sell bread here and sell bread here and sell bread here and sell bread here. You start packing, you start layering them. Man, you would hit your goal so fast, your head would spin. You'd be like, what just happened? And not doing anything different other than just delivering on what you already do. Whew, that was fun. So step one, prepare. Ensure your business is fully prepared to enter government contract market. The government always wants you to be compliant. That is how they award. That is step one in award. And it's so funny that 27% of businesses, even startups and like starting to do business or they're established, they always, across the board, 27% of them submit a non-compliant proposal. Oh, what's the big deal, right? What's the big deal? The big deal is that that's usually your first impression that you're leaving with them. It's so important to have things in order because your proposal, whatever you submit, becomes public record. It becomes the owner. It becomes the control of the government. What you're submitting is a document that you're saying you can own this document and share it however you like because it's deemed true. So if there's information missing or inaccurate, that is public record. They're gonna, of course, they're gonna, redact things that confidential, etc. But for the meat and potatoes of your proposal, it's public record. I don't know about you. Reputation is the number one most important asset you have in life. So we want to make sure that we're setting up our business for success, not just like hurrying up to get through things, right? Okay. Step two is target. It's one of my favorite steps. Because once you have prepare done, because this is like a once a year thing. Prepare is like once a year. But when you do target, target is one of the funnest. Like I'm gonna make my own dictionary. It's called Webster's, not Webster. It's gonna be Webster's. It is the funnest. It is so enjoyable because your brain, your mind, the what you think about money, the control money has had on you, the limitations that money has had on you are going to break. Guaranteed. When you start seeing these dollars, you're going to be like, I'm guaranteed you're going to just go back and you're going to say, I remember GovCon Millions Masterclass. She wasn't lying. There are crazy multi-million-dollar contracts for solopreneurs, for small businesses. And then you add in the disadvantaged, like the diversity certifications. Oh my gosh, that's a whole separate pool of money. We haven't even talked about that. Like, so much fun. And so what you're going to do during target is you're going to look up opportunities that you qualify for. So there are 3 levels of target. There's the federal level, there's state, and then there's local. What's really crazy, so you could have, I mean, because I've seen this is why it's so wild. For me, I think it's wild. Let's say you can have, I don't know, 25 contracts open at the same time. Now let's just do some math really quick. I love this part of the party. So let's say the 25 at the same time. Let's say on average, they're like 100,000. These are small contracts. These are like a week worth of work. Like that's it. Like it's maybe a week, maybe one project, very much hands off, very little work to do. So that's like 2.5 million, right? And you can have 25 going at the same time. Let's say we've got like 3 here, 10 here, and 12 going on here. Just right now. Just for like the next, I don't know, just for the month. Just for the month of October. You've got 25 contracts open right now. Wow, indeed. So we go, well, on average, I mean, this is very small. 100K is a very small contract. So on average, you'll say, we'll do 2.5 a month. I'm really stretching your brain. I'm trying to help you stretch your brain, because when you start seeing these contracts, you're going to be like, your relationship with money will change. It'll transform. It won't change. It will transform. It'll transform. The way that you see money will transform. You'll be like, it's only, I think today I think I'll buy a new car today, right? Or, oh, son, daughter, it's only $10,000. Because now you're not exchanging time for money anymore. So amazing. Can somebody do the math on this? 2.5 times 12. I got the 24 part. I think it's plus 6, right? So 30 million. That's right. You could buy a car. You can buy your daughter a car every year, every month. She could try them out like new jeans. Samantha, you could gift your kids whatever they desire and deserve. And here's what's crazy. This is like the best part of it all. You see, someone once told me, and I really love this analogy because it's helped me be more grateful. God wants us to give, right? We just know that. God wants us to give freely. He wants us to give freely. He wants us to give freely as we freely breathe. We breathe in, we take from the world, and we breathe out, we give to the world. And that is what he wants every single child of his. And it just like, it helped me. I was like, oh man, see, I don't have to like hold in what I have. I can give it because I know I will receive. Your last breath is actually not a breath. It's an exhale. You give it back to the world. Isn't that crazy? It's like, oh my gosh, Lord, you just make it so simple to live and function. So you could buy her a gazillion cars. Target. So that's what we're going to do at Target. It's the most funnest exercise. It's like putting on some music, just open up a few tabs, you got your opportunity matrix, and you're just putting them in there. Boom, boom. And if you use mygovwatch.com, it's so much easier. And you could track them, you could watch them, literally watch them, so that you can get notification when the status changes. Totally doable. And you're just like giving to people, because instead of you doing all 25 contracts, you just give to somebody else that can deliver deliver on the contracts that are on your team, or you sub. Like, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. Okay. Step 3 is strategize. Why is strategy third instead of second? I have had that question before. And we can't create a strategy until we know what we're selling. Like, it's like, you have to have the elements. You have to know what order things need to go in order to sell it out into the marketplace. We have to know, like, what opportunities are we going to go after, who's going to be on our hit list, like what calls that we need to make, what emails we need to send, what clients we just can submit right now, which opportunities do we need to have subs, primes, which ones we need to prime, if you want to do a joint venture, because that's where the money's at. So many different things, like just layers and layers and layers of questions that you need to answer for yourself. But once you have the opportunity matrix completed, now you know exactly how to structure your strategy. Now you know, okay, this is my action plan. So you're strategizing at step 3, you're creating an action plan. You're diving deeper into the research. See, okay, is it okay if I give you one secret? I think I mentioned this maybe once online. But this is, if you do this, your win rate it'll jump. Is it okay? Okay. Samantha gave me the permission. So once you know what clients are buying the thing that you're selling, and you look at the timeline of when they bought the thing last. So like, say, for example, they bought something, like that contract came out, they were advertised in May, they closed it in July. Okay, so now May, June, July. Now it takes 3 months for them to make a decision on that contract. We know how much the value of that contract is. We looked at the old RFP, right? Because we're looking at past projects or past RFPs to make thoughtful decisions about future RFPs. We read it. And then what you're going to do, oh, I can't believe I'm saying this. This is information, and I tell my VIP clients I charge $150,000 for a day. So here's the strategy. You're going to go to that agency, that office website, City of California, or City of Los Angeles, City of Orlando, State of Florida, whatever, Department of Revenue, FBI, Federal Bureau of Investigation, wherever. You're going to go to their website. You're going to go to About. You're going to look for meeting minutes. You're going to look for meeting minutes 3 months before they issued the advertisement. So if they advertise it in May, you're going to look for May's, April's, and March meeting minutes. You see, in the RFP, they only put the information that they need from you. They don't put everything. The meeting minutes from their board meetings, from their conversations are in the meeting minutes. You go find that stuff. That's your cover letter. Is this like blowing your mind? Like, you're not guessing anymore what they want. You're like, your value proposition is directly aligned to what they said. This goes back to marketing. Like, marketing, you give them exactly what they want. What they said to you, what they talked amongst in a private setting room that is now public record, that they have to share with the public. Just go to the internet, go to the website, beep, 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 and you can get the meeting minutes. And you just look, you just scroll through it. And if it's a recording, even better. Because now you can hear the language, the tone, the responses, the reactions, you can hear all that stuff. But if it's written, you just scroll through and you're just looking for keywords. You're looking, and they will actually say, okay, let's move on to opportunity 2581, blah, blah, blah. And then they'll say the project name. And that's all you're looking for. Okay, cool. Listen, take notes. Oh, we got to do this, we got to do that. Oh, well, wait, they're telling you exactly what they want. It's like being a fly in the wall. It is. Nobody does that. Like, nobody does this. This is like, you want to be different? Talk about what they care about. And then you add in all of the other stuff. You're like, the cover letter is like, they're going to be like, Samantha did her research. Laura did her research. Raphael did her research. They know what we want. Oh, let's lean in. Yep, they're compliant. Ooh, they have a really good approach. Lean in even more. Because even though they need to do a scoring, like score your response to an advertisement, there's room for emotion, right? Because there's no way like they can score, like add up all the points reading words, unless it makes them feel something, unless it's like answering the questions that they have, unless it's solving a problem that they were unable to put into the RFP. Like, yes, you can download the meeting minutes, the actual recordings of the meetings. I don't believe so. I believe they're like embedded into the website, but if it's a Word document or a PDF, you can totally download those. And a lot of clients, you can actually just you can sign up to get notifications when they publish the meeting minutes. Oh, your information is sent to your email box. So this is another hack. One last hack and we'll move on because we've got a lot to cover. Create a GovCon email address. Don't call it GovCon. Like, so create a GovCon email address. Use it just for procurement. Do not submit anything through that. Government clients do not want to work with anybody other than the submitter, the submittal person, the person that's submitting, who signed the cover letter, who is signing the checks. That's the only person that they want to talk to. They don't want to talk to anybody else. The government email address, the email list will help siphon all of the procurement notifications, the advertisements, the meeting minutes, the updates, the addendums, all that in one place out of your inbox, and keep it organized so that this is a system trick, okay? So that anybody on your team can just run with it. Okay, no problem, Laura. This is so much fun. Oh, yay! No more limitations. Okay, let's move on to 4. 4. You're welcome. Okay, gotcha, Laura. Okay, submit. Okay, I believe that, and because I'm just going to address the big white elephant in the room. He's white. He's not black, he's not gray, he's white. The big white elephant in the room for submit. Yes, you can use ChatGPT or other AI solutions to submit. There are AI solutions for you to submit. However, I'm going to tell you that you need to put a personal touch on it. We've seen the results of proposals compared, like we've done A/B tests on a lot of opportunities, and we've seen the results of those that were using same responses, but one is written by the AI and one is written by a person, and the person always wins every single time. It is faster to submit, but we're talking quality. I mean, what does it take? A few more minutes to read it and just really tailor it and put your own voice into it. Make it your own. What does it take to make millions of dollars? I mean, that's okay, right? Is that okay? Am I talking to my people? All right. So it's totally cool. Compliance check. You always want to be doing compliance checks. So like the project management plan I showed you, the spreadsheet where you put all the individual opportunity information, the RFP information, while you're going through it so that you don't get a headache when you're flipping through the RFP and reading it. That is going to be so helpful because it's going to help you compare to what they said and how you responded. And when there's addendums, now you can add that into your proposal. Addendums, they issue them to respond to questions if they're missing information in the original RFP. Addendums are just it's just additional information, or like our request for information, the questions. And so you just, even if they don't ask you to, always acknowledge you've read the addendum. I'm just giving everything away. Oh my gosh, I'm just giving it all away. That's okay. I love you guys anyway. So that's what you're going to do, is submit. You always want to submit on time. There's an argument about submitting on time, that whether or not they will accept it. I don't take that risk because that's my reputation. So it's up to you, but always submit on time. It goes without saying, but it's something that I have to say because I've heard otherwise, and I'm just like, no, you always want to submit on time. If everybody else is submitting on time. So who's reviewing your, like, this is how I look at it, and this is how my team has been trained to look at it. You're always submitting to a person. Imagine that guy that shows up to your house an hour early to a party. You're like, bro, I'm gonna go take a shower. Like, I just finished cleaning. Why are you here an hour early? I'm talking from experience. So we just want to make sure that we're submitting on time. Okay, cool. And then the last step is track. This is by far, based off my research, something that most people don't do. They don't track. They just submit it, and there's no listing of it anywhere in their CRM spreadsheets, nothing. They're just like, oh, I haven't heard, and they just move on to the next opportunity. And here's the thing, guys. If you ignore if you ignore a blessing, if you don't move in faith, if you don't act as if it's already yours, you'll never win. Tracking is so important. It's not just to prepare when you win. It's also to track those that you lost. How did we get an average of 74% across all of our clients? We tracked every single opportunity that came back that won or lost. We instructed our clients to get a debrief every single time. Why? Because there's information in the debrief. There's a relation building aspect of a debrief that you can get that none of your competitors will get. They're not going to just give you this, like the scoring sheet is public record. Anybody can get that information. The proposal that's submitted, that's public record. But to get somebody to tell you why they scored you that way, it's cool. All right. Are we having fun? Let's take some takeaways before we move on, because there's so much more. Who's up? Who's ready? All right, go Samantha. Go.
I'm just excited about this. Let's say that first. Thank you so much for sharing all that you've been sharing so far. Key takeaways is the preparation part. I think that I've done a lot of that, but the next step, the targeting, I think that's where I kind of get tripped up because it's like so much information. And so thank you for the website you suggested, because I think that may just kind of make my brain feel better because there's not so much to process. So I think that is amazing in terms of the takeaway. And then, of course, meeting minutes. Oh my God. Who would have thought? That is gold. And then when you were talking about it, I was like, okay, I can just plug this into my AI and I can tell it to give me like the information for this particular opportunity. And then if I can get the recording, oh, that's even better because then I can plug it into my other AI and just have it just give me all the highlights and all the things I need. So those, I think, three things are my takeaways. And thank you again just for sharing your wisdom with us on this. And so it makes my $1 million lifestyle even closer than I thought. So thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Congratulations. That is so awesome. When you put it together, when you see the system, when you see the strategy come together, your goal becomes bigger. It's like you're not just getting 1 million. You're like, I'm going to start with 1 million. Yes or yes in the chat.
Mhm.
Like it's like, oh, okay, I'm gonna start with 1 million. that'll wet my lips a little bit, and then let's get that system really pumping. That's so awesome. So good. All right. I love what I do. I read the other day a story about a fly. And the fly was just like doing what flies do. They just kept hitting the window. He kept hitting the window again and again and again. And the whining of its wings, were telling a poignant story of a fly strategy. And here it is. Listen up. Try harder. Somebody say, try harder. Across the room, there was an open door. And with just 10 seconds of flying time, just 10 seconds, the fly would have had everything it ever wanted through the open door. Somebody type, there's an open door. There's an open expectation in the womb of manifestation. And I wonder how many people are in the room today? How many of you would say, I've been trying hard at some things? And how many of you would say, I've just been trying hard? You know, we as entrepreneurs have just this tendency sometimes to make things harder than they really need to be. We have a compulsion, right? Like it's towards complexity. We have a fixation on complications. Come on. Where are my people at? Complicated. I've been in the wrong room. I'm telling you, this is not it. I'm looking for my name tag. I'm like my little name card at the table, right? I'm like, I'm not supposed to be here. Have you ever tried something? You launched it and it even went well for a while, but then you forgot it went well. And so you tried something else and you were doing all the stuff and you were like, wait, what am I even doing? We have a tendency to just make things harder, just make them hard. But somebody say, there's an open door. There's a door. There's a door. I just realized that it's a system that has taught us that working hard equals wealth. They say we go to school, we go to college, we get a job, we become wealthy, and that's the order of things. That's just how life needs to be. How many people heard that offer? That is just not the offer I want anymore. It'll even creep into our thinking here inside our community where we'll project that it's going to take us 2, 4, 10 years to be a millionaire. We debunked that in the last hour, the last 30 minutes. We're projecting that we're going to roll up in here in 2072 in our wheelchair and hit $1 million. No, ma'am. We're in the midst of a wealth transfer right now. God is giving us the green light. He's like, go. Perfect timing. You're safe. Like the umpire. The system trained us to think that motion means momentum. And the system conditioned you to think about activity means productivity. And the system trained you that busy meant fruitful. And the system said, hustle, 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 grind, grind, grind. Meanwhile, you're blind, blind, blind to the open door. Somebody say, there's an open door. And the only thing that the hard work was doing for the fly was making it die faster. Somebody say, I want the door. And you might be like, how do I get to the door? How do I get through the door? You got to stop working so hard on what's already not working. I love what Myron Golden says. He says, working harder won't make you more successful. It'll only make you more tired. Gary Halbert says, properly exploited, one good idea that occurs to you while walking on the beach is worth more than 10 lifetimes of hard work. I like to say, when you find the easy way, run the play. Run the play. Run the play. Somebody say, run the play, baby. Run the play. You got to run the play. You got to run the play. But sometimes you look but you don't see, and there's a weariness at the window. 4 years ago, I left corporate, realizing I had a system, I had a strategy to help people make 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 figures in one contract. Someone say, there's a weariness at the window. Because I really thought, it's not going to work for me. It's not going to work for anybody, because we have to be a corporate company. We got to be in the system. It only works for companies in the system. It can't work for solopreneurs. It can't work for startups. It can't work for small businesses. It can't work for people who are just trying to add revenue to their business. No, it's a lie. That was all a lie. The system wants us to believe. And when I transformed into a new belief, God showed me that, oh, my daughter, I need you to work higher, not harder. I need my people to work higher, not harder. Let's run the play, baby. We were working hard, but not seeing the results. We were like a fly hitting ourselves against the window, dying so much faster over and over again. And all we needed to do is point our attention and direction towards the open door. The system robbed me of years, and the system robbed me of decades. But somebody say there's an open door. Here's what the worst part of the system is. It beguiles you and seduces you to think into thinking that the window is your capacity, that the window is what you're capable of, that the window is all the ability that you have. You think that your talent is this much, but really it's this much. You think your skill is this much, but really it's this much. You think your potential, your capacity for what you're capable of and your level of performance is coming based on hitting the window? And see, because you've been using the window as your measuring stick for success, you think it's based on accurate thinking. Somebody say accurate thinking. But I'm here to tell you it's actually based on habitual thinking. Habitual thinking. You think that because you've been at the window, that's what you're capable of. But I'm here to tell you the door is your destiny. Somebody tap yourself and say, I'm going through an open door. Come on. The door is your destiny. It's my destiny. Some of you here, you don't even have a clue who you really are. But when you get a clue of who you really are and start going through the door, a new level of talent begins to emerge. You didn't even know you had it. A new level of skill begins to come up from within you, and you didn't even know you had it. Come on, a new level of boldness. A new level of boldness comes to you. A new level of authority starts to rise up from you. Because you're saying, I wasn't born to die. I was born to fly. Come on, who wants to go through the open door? You better just shove your neighbor a little bit and just tap him and say, you better get ready. I'm getting chills. When I did when I helped my first client as an agency owner, when I helped Aparna, so many others, Mike, Ed, Mark, I helped so many of those. It was a revelation that this is the way. How many of you want this to be your story? Type I do. Type I do. I want to relinquish the old man and step into the new man. I want to let go of amateur and step into pro. I want to let go of fear and step into action. That's me. I do. And when you start flying, there are going to be some people that are still from the system, that are still banging their heads against the window. They're going to be working hard and they won't like it. They won't like that you're changing. They'll try to limit you and constrict you and contain you and try to keep you in a little place where they can control your thoughts. Keep you small so they don't have an excuse to change. But somebody say, there's an open door. They might even talk about you. Come on. They might even lie about you. They might even walk out on you and betray you and say some things to you. My gosh. But somebody has to know in this place today, you weren't meant to die. You were meant to. Somebody say it. You weren't meant to die. You were meant to fly. You were meant to fly. That's right, Samantha. There's an open door. A man named Peter got up all in Jesus' face, and Jesus said to him, "Get behind me, Satan." And the word Satan means anything that opposes you, anything that accuses you. Jesus was saying, in effect, any opposition to my destiny, come on, has got to be behind me. You better open your mouth out and say, haters, go ahead and get behind me. Betrayers, go ahead and get behind me. Everything is shifting out of my way because I am a person of purpose. Tap your chest and say, I've got purpose. I was sent here for purpose. And you got to tell me, fear, get behind me. You got to tell some insecurity, go ahead and get behind me. You got to tell some lack, some poverty, some limitation, some procrastination, get behind me. I'm going through the open doors. I'm going through the open doors. Tell somebody, I'm going through the open door, because you got to get a fire in your belly. You got to feel it. Raise your hand if you're going to go and get some fire in your belly and say, I got to step into this purpose. This is my time. I've got to step into my greatness. I've got to step into the sovereignty that was lodged in the womb of my destiny, because there's an open door. There's an open door. The naysayers are like giraffes. The naysayers are like turtles, I'm sorry. And giraffes and turtles, they can occupy the same space, right? So they can live in the same environment, but they don't have the same worldview. I first heard this story from T.D. Jakes, and he talked about the giraffe can be in the same geological location as the turtle. The giraffe eats from the top of the trees, and the turtle moves through the grass. And this is what happens in life of all people. We eat on the level of our vision. When you are a giraffe and you get criticism from a turtle, the turtles are reporting the view from the level they're on. If you understand, you won't be moved by what they say. It's not that sometimes what they say isn't true, because they know certain things about your behavior in the past. They define you by who you were, but they don't necessarily understand who you are. Their poor understanding of who you are will incarcerate you to who you were, because they will keep dragging you back to your lowest self instead of evolving to your highest self. I have lost opportunities because I have a quest to the murmuring of the turtles. The reason I use the giraffe as a metaphor is because a giraffe has a 25-pound heart. 25 pounds. It's a big heart, so that it pumps. It's not blood up its 9-foot neck so that its head can stay high. Conversely, if the giraffe lowers its head to the level of the turtle, he will lose his consciousness and pass out. When you have built to be tall, you will endanger your position if you lower your perspective. There is nothing wrong with a turtle because a turtle is given an honest report from his perspective. So all those people telling you, hey, if I were you, I would not. That is not you, my friends. Stay where you are on your level. You can't allow people whose vision is here control your eyesight, which is up here. So they are not wrong for what they think they are reporting on their level, but the turtle cannot reach up to your level. So you cannot explain to a turtle a giraffe's decision. All right. We have one more section to go. And I want to take just about, let's say, a 6-minute break. We're at 12:40 or 42 past the hour. Let's return 10 minutes till, so 12:50 or 50 minutes past the hour. And we'll continue on. GovCon Millions. All right. Does that sound good? Okay. I'll see you guys in a minute.
every time I show up with Melinda, I gain something from it. And for that, I'm thankful.
Melinda provides a ton of content for small business owners on how to get organized, how to get your business up and running, and to realize sales fairly quickly after that. She has the receipts to prove it, and I believe it. I also loved Melinda's energy and her enthusiasm and her sincere belief in me as a small business owner, that I can realize the success that she has in her business already.
Like, this new chapter is so important, and getting the tools from Melinda and just the strategy and ideation is so important.
And also, with working with Melinda and her team, as you start to unpack your process and you unpack how she can add to your development of your own team members, you realize that there's room for growth, there's room for development, there's room for change, and there's room for success. I'd say that Melinda and her team has been really helpful in creating a clear, concise program that will be helpful for any team members from small to large, which was mainly our team, where the team consisted mainly of 3 individuals at the time. But she provided tools, tips, and success to help with the team for growth and development moving on in the future. So it's not just for temporary, but it's also it provides us with a clear path for moving forward and for expanding our team as we continue to.
What problem did you have that you wanted to have solved?
So when we got connected, it was almost a forced into and gift given time that it was meant to be, that I returned to consulting, but on my own. So instead of working for another company doing consulting, this was an opportunity that, like I said, it was a gift of the perfect timing, the perfect situation. I had a client who was encouraging me to go out and do this on my own because I can. And I knew that, but it took the circumstances to get me there. But there was a lot I needed to know. And so while I'm an expert at the, commercial real estate side, becoming my own business and understanding how to do it the best I possibly can was not inside my expertise. And so I know I connected with you and said, help. I don't even know what I don't know, but I do know I need some branding or I need something. And you invited me to a master class, which the funny story about the master class is that when I'm so overwhelmed with so many good things, my mind was racing so much from that intense 4 hours of just opening my mind to all these different possibilities and what my business really could be. Not just, hey, you can consult and it's basically the same as just being an employee, but it's just on your own, to building a business and building wealth and turning this into something more. I had to sleep. I slept for the next 2 hours after after the master class. And I have been on fire ever since. So what you gave me was a lot of direction, like pointed into a direction, not directions to do something, but an invitation to explore more, guidance to explore more, and the confidence to know that this is the way it works. This is a system. It always works. You do the work and it will happen. And so that comfort of understanding that there is a system, and we've now moved into consulting. You are my business coach. You are my business strategist. That it's like a springboard of incredible constant filling me up on what I need to give me that confidence and to grow in ways that I just never expected. And it has resulted in income that I didn't expect.
Go. Are we just like motivated? Let's go. Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed your break. Oh my gosh. Let's talk about some aha. Let's take a minute just to I want to hear from you guys. What are you thinking? What are your thoughts as we wrap up? Let me know. Let me know. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited. Like, I wanted this to be a party and we did it. We're almost finished. I have some like really cool things left. Really cool things. You're going to want to make sure you stay around for this. It's going to be so amazing. So cool. All right. So we'll come back. It's probably making your way through. Trying to get back in. That's totally cool. Trying to get a bite in. Awesome. All right. So we're going to talk through one last thing before we transition. And hopefully by then we'll get you guys back on. When you come back on, just raise your hand. Love to get your feedback. Let's get your takeaways. So the 5 steps, just a recap of the 5 steps. Step 1, prepare. So prepare your business, your current business, prepare your business to do business with the government. Step 2, target. You want to make sure to target the right audience, the right clients that are buying exactly what you're delivering. Step 3 is strategize. Like, get the information. Step 4, submit. And then step 5 is track. So make sure you track. We go back and track because we always are. We're pros. We're not amateurs. We're not trying to submit once, and then cry about it when we don't win. Because it's not going to happen often if you follow this process. If it's not going to happen often, it's probably not going to happen often. Like, this system, this strategy, the GovCon sales strategy works. It works. If you work it, it will work, period. Oh, no problem. That's cool. It's cool, Samantha. If you want to put your takeaways in the chat, and I will read them for you. Anybody else? Oh, you got 2? Okay, you too, Laura. Go ahead and put your takeaways in chat. I will read them for you so that we can share and care for those that are watching the replay. The door is open for me. Samantha says, the door is open for me. I just need to step through it. 100 million%. Good job. This is congratulations. It's awareness, right? It's awareness. Being the bride of Christ and lifting the veil to see all of the opportunities that God has just put right in front of us. And they are arm's reach. All we have to do is pick. We're just, oh, it's for me, Lord. Oh, I don't even know. I don't even know. Laura says, helicopter awareness. Oh, so you have a helicopter awareness, how possible it could be. How many opportunities there are. So many opportunities. So many opportunities. When I watched, there are so many strategies that are in my system. I would need more time. But there's some like ninjas. Like, you got the meeting minutes list ninja. Wait until you hear. Like, there are so many other. It's like money will just start raining on you when I tell you these strategies. They are so good. And here's the thing. Not many people are aware of them. And those that are aware, I'm like, those that follow this strategy and implement the system to the T. What I covered in the strategy, that is like, that is the film on top of the surface. Like, it is just the film. There's so much amazing stuff that's in this system. It will change your life. It'll change your life. Samantha says, getting out of my head and following my heart's desire will guarantee my success 100 million billion %. 100 million billion %. I love that. You guys are killing it. Let me give you guys hearts in the chat. So good. All right. I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you something. I'm talking a lot about animals. This one's about an animal. It's about an elephant. We're going to go back to that white elephant. It's about this elephant. And this baby elephant, when it goes to a zoo, baby elephants are delivered to a zoo. They're trained at birth to be confined to a very small space. Its trainer will tie its hind leg, with a rope to a wooden post that's planted deep in the ground. And this confines the baby elephant to an area determined by the length of the rope. And this is called and considered the elephant's comfort zone. Y'all know, you know where I'm going with this. Though the baby elephant will initially try to break the rope, right? I don't want to be confined. The rope is too strong for the baby elephant. And so the baby elephant learns that it can't break the rope. And so it learns that it has to stay in the area defined by the length of the rope. That's all I got. Here's the sad part. When the elephant grows up to be a 5-ton colossus that could easily break the rope just by sneezing, and it's broken, right? It doesn't even try because it learned as a baby elephant that it couldn't break the rope. What? The largest elephant can be confined by the puniest little rope. Let me just tell you that you can no longer be confined by your space. You're not stuck. You just grew up. You grew out of the space and need to give yourself permission to move. All you have to do is move. Someone type in the chat, move. Move. You just have to move. You grew out of the space you're in. You can't fit there. In fact, if you stay there, things will continue not to work. You can't stay in that space anymore. You can't move. You can't function in that space. You have to get out of this space. You have to move. All you have to do is move, and you will release what was tying you down that can no longer control you. Are you willing to step outside of your invisible confines? Amateurs will stay in their invisible confines. They'll stay there. Pros are willing to take a step outside of their comfort zone to get to where they want to go. We just have to move. Are you willing to submit a proposal to unlock wealth in your life? To deliver more for yourself and your children, to show them what's possible when you move? It might have been something to protect you when you were small, but you are no longer that baby elephant. You're holding on to something that no longer, it doesn't serve you. It's now in your way. It's now in your way. Let's move. You're going to have so much, you're going to feel fun. You're going to have so much fun. Like just making money. Like just waking up in the morning, getting an email from a client that says, you won. You've been awarded this government contract for $1 million. How would you like to get paid? No, I mean, just here's the agreement. Here are the terms. It sounds amazing. Profit margins. It's going to be like 75, 80%. You'll feel so good delivering these services to the government because you know you're just helping people. You're getting to the achievement of philanthropy, of building wealth for your family, of leaving a legacy like God has called us to. All by moving, all by taking action. You literally can't fail. You literally can't fail. Like there's no failure in government contract, in doing business with the government. You never fail. Any loss that you may have is an open door. It's an opportunity for you to iterate and improve. And there are so many wins when you not just get the contract, but because if you're a pro, you'll reach out to the client and get the info to submit a killer proposal next time. They will remember you. They will respect you. They will even call you out of the blue when there are opportunities that they are not required to submit an RFP for, and they will say, hey, Samantha, are you interested in doing this project? We got the scope of work that just came up. I can send you the money today. Cool. And get what? You'll have so many RFPs that it won't even bother you that, oh, well, now the long lead on this opportunity is just a couple more months. It's been rescheduled. That's cool. I got 25 other contracts going on right now. I'm good. I just get better and better. I'm a pro. Type the word pro in the chat. If you're a pro, I'm a pro. We're pros in here. Showing the people that we're called to serve what it looks like to believe that we were meant to receive. We're going pro. Let's go. I'm talking to pros today. I'm not talking to amateurs. Amateurs won't even show up to this masterclass. They won't register for this masterclass. Amateurs will delay. Will say one day, it's too much work. I don't want to read. You know where wealth is? You know why? You know why? When you look at wealthy people, they have libraries in their home. You know why? Because they understand wealth is reading. Wealth is unlocking stories and dreams and ideas that have already been created to unlock even more opportunities that God has already planted in us. It's the confidence that we get. It's the awareness that we know that it's possible to start right now. We don't have to wait for the perfect time, because the perfect time doesn't exist. See, wealthy people know that. They prefer to buy, invest in books, and read, because that's an asset versus buying liabilities. They're like, asset all day, because that's going to make me money. Read, it takes what you max, it'll take you what, an hour? On average for the RFP, it'll take maybe an hour less. Most RFPs are a couple of pages. Especially if you're submitting for the same client, you're like, oh, I know exactly what that is. You're like, got that. And for what? The result is millions of dollars? That's okay. Type that's okay. If you believe that that's okay, if you just spend an hour reading an RFP, that's okay. So really, there's nothing in your way. I'm a poet and I didn't even know it. So is it okay with you if I share with you how we serve people in our company? Give me a yes in the chat if it's okay. Awesome. Cool. Cool. Thank you. So we have this 3-day workshop. It's called the $1 Million Contracts. I mean, I'm just loving being a millionaire. It's a 3-day workshop, October 25th to 27th here in Orlando. Inside this workshop, you'll have all of the elements to submit contracts, to find them, unlocking a Niagara Falls size revenue stream. You ever been to the Niagara Falls? It's like big. It's epically big. Ever flowing. It's like unlimitless, like limitless and limitless. So much. So during the workshop, we will take you by the hand and walk you through the $1 Million Contract system, the 5-step GovCon sales strategy, so that you can win contracts while adding revenue to your business year after year after year. Each session over the 3 days, live coaching and implementation workshop, is structured in a way that will guide you to take action and compress time, increasing results, so that you leave not just with a whole bunch of notes, but you leave with a completely branded and ready to go proposal, ready to be submitted on your flight home. Amazing. You'll be surrounded by the best of the best in the business, making it even easier to find your next contracting partner, whether that be a sub, prime, JV partner, all in the room. We will help encourage each other to make the world a better place, impacting the world with the opportunities for growth that we create in the room. Now, anytime that you see an RFP advertised, you know that you can just click and submit a high quality, high captivating, compliant proposal. You'll leap into action with a newfound sense of confidence, knowing your proposal is packed, jam-packed with value the selection committee is going to have a hard time saying no to. Here's what's included. Are you guys ready? I want to show you the offer doc, because when I came up with this offer, this is exactly what we do for our one-on-one clients. And you're going to be able to do it. in a group setting. Like, sign me up, baby. So I'm showing you this page. This is the page. It's going to be linked in the chat in a moment. And when you click here to see all that you get, you'll see the GovCon offer for $1 million contracts. I'm going to scroll down, zoom in if you guys are on mobile. You'll get your $1 million proposal template. It's already done. We're going to brand it for you. Not just with colors in your logo, not just making it unique to your business and your solutions. My team is going to help you write the brand copy, tailor it to the government so that you can increase your win rate. Out the back. Isn't that amazing? All of your brand copy, all of your copy, all of the language, all of your graphics, all of your photos, everything, all of it, we're going to take it and we're going to tailor it and help you create a master proposal that you just update and submit. You don't have to start all over again. You just have a master proposal template.
We can't see your screen.
Oh, thank you. There you go. Can you see it now?
Yes, that's good.
Okay. All right. Cool. So that's your $1 million proposal template. You're going to receive a custom branded master proposal template incorporating your brand style, your tailored brand copy, all leveraging our win rate, 6, 7, and even 10-figure contracts. Starting the day that you sign. So if you register for the workshop, we have a questionnaire, we just start going. And you receive guidance from our agency team. So we can just start selecting opportunities that are a good fit for you. Choose one opportunity that's going to help us craft the master proposal template for you. So that by the end of the workshop, you just get on a plane, press submit right before you take off, and you're done. On your way to millions. You're also going to get the VIP B2G client sales secrets. This is a never been done before opportunity to be in the room, virtually and in person, with your clients, the procurement officers, those that are reviewing your proposal, those that are responsible for putting out advertisements. Would that be okay if you'd be in the room with a local, state, and federal client, hearing their tips for you to submit a worthy proposal, sharing opportunities that are upcoming, and an opportunity for you to ask them questions? Sounds good, right? Like, what? ¿Qué te diga? Dios mío. Okay. And because I over deliver, like I did today, I love to over deliver. So you're going to get Price for Profits recorded training. It is designed specifically for government contracting to help you increase your win rates. So help just basically guiding you through the pricing structure, like how to price right for sales, for wins. So you're not just putting something out there, you're doing the research, you're being strategic about it, get your message right, understand what their pain points or challenges are. It all goes into your pricing strategy. GovCon Lead Builder. So this is how to build a pipeline of opportunities along with your date, value, and potential scope so that you keep your eyes on your growing business the smart way. This is the opportunity matrix along with the training on how to do that so that you can build leads. You can build a CRM system of government leads. compliance cheat sheet is learn how to review your proposal for compliance and value before you submit. Building a consistent and quality response arsenal. These are, when I created this offer, I took everything we create, we use, we built with the strategy and the system that has helped us win so many opportunities for our clients. And I put it in this offer. And so instead of paying what they paid, you're going to pay a lot less. When I want to just go to price for profits, because that's one of the number one things people are challenged with when they're submitting a proposal. They're like, I'm going to go with what I believe I am worth. See, the government doesn't do it that way. Government doesn't do it that way. It's not about your past performance. It's about how much they're willing to pay you. Going back to that big potato sack, bigger, taller than me, wider than me, potato sack of money stuffed to the gills. They're not thinking about anything other than, can you deliver on the project? Cool. Here is 6 figures, 7 figures, 8 figures to deliver on the project. Right? Oh, and Aura back in. When we look at the lead builder, like, instead of being stuck, oh man, there's just overwhelm. Like, I don't know what client to work with and who to da. Because there's so many opportunities. You need a strategy to stay organized, to be consistent, to be strategic and intentional about every step of the way. And so in order to do that, you have to have a lead builder so you can keep organized. This is why businesses fail, is because they don't have the proper sales pipeline. And so if you're juggling private clients, your existing clients, plus government clients, and you don't have a pipeline, it's going to be really challenging for you to keep not only yourself happy, but your team consistently working and off overhead. And your clients, they're going to just feel the effects of that. They're going to know. They just know. Clients just know. They're like kids. They just know that mommy and daddy are fighting, right? So we want to make sure that we're doing it properly with Lead Builder. The compliance cheat sheet is a no-brainer. It is something that you need. You cannot just go by the RFP. It is based off of the different strategies. It's incorporating the different strategies in my system. It's not just like, oh, what the RFP told you, or what the selection criteria, or what the scoring sheet says. No, it's in addition to that. It's looking at what is compliant from the eyes of the buyer. What is important to them? What do they want you to say? How are you saying it in the way that is going to increase your scoring? Because checking off the box is not good enough anymore. You need to be intentional and strategic about your messaging, and not say it in a 50,000 page proposal. You have to be as succinct as possible, and it requires experience. That requires experience. Follow the money formula is one of my strategies. I remember this was years ago. I was still in corporate, and I was having a conversation with one of my associates, and I said, I was like, we were talking about looking for opportunities. And I said, did you look at the business journals? And she was like, anything that's advertised in the business journals are opportunities that are projects that have already occurred. That's what she said. And then it dawned on me, I knew something she didn't know. There is a money avalanche. Write it down, money avalanche. There is a money avalanche. If you follow the money in government, you can learn how to be ahead of everyone else. You see, while the business journals are talking about the current projects, I'm thinking, where is that money going to flow next? And I teach you how to do that because it is a foolproof, eye-opening opportunity for you to know something that no other competitor knows. Your incumbents, they don't know. They're only going by their conversation, their relationship with the client. There's a stat out there, 63% of government contractors do not avoid requesting additional information on other contracts during delivery. Avoid asking, what's next? What's in the sales pipeline? What's the next opportunity? What's in the advertising? What are you focused on beyond this project? No, they just get the contract, they do the project, and then they move on to the next contract. Friends, what is like business 101? How do you retain clients? You find out what they're focused on, right? When you can couple that strategy with the money flow, the money formula, follow the money formula, it is like you start to see money everywhere. Everything starts to convert into money. And it's like, oh my gosh. When you start watching like the news, you won't be sad, you will be glad. You'll be like, that's an opportunity. Let me pick up the phone and call my client and ask them, what are they doing about this? Let me get ahead of this. That is how you build a relationship with the government. You care about what they care about, and you will be on speed dial. So cool. Okay. And of course, you're going to get full recordings of the on-site training, our world-class service and experience. So let me tell you what the workshop is going to look like so you can envision what this is going to be. As soon as you sign up, you'll get a questionnaire. This questionnaire will just get us prepared, our team prepared to look for an opportunity on your behalf. Okay? We'll find opportunities, we'll put them in your opportunity matrix. We'll actually start your opportunity matrix and share that with you so that you can start building out your opportunity matrix. You'll have the trainings to go by while our team is collecting information from you to start drafting out your proposal. By the time you get to the workshop, we'll have draft 2 done. And during the workshop, you'll sit down with my team, finalize your proposal. I will do compliance on your proposal before you leave the workshop. And you'll be on your way submitting a proposal like that. That's what's going on. So you'll not only know how to respond, but you'll hear from clients on how to respond and get those tactics and strategies. You'll get my strategies and tactics in my system. You'll have a proven proposal built by team who is submitted for billions of dollars and won 74.6% of the time. And the only thing that you'll have to do, like your job in this whole thing, is sending us the information, selecting an opportunity to start with, reviewing the proposal, and pressing submit. How does that sound? Is that easy? Type easy if that sounds easy. Saying like, oh man, I gotta find time. I gotta find time to do all this stuff, and this is new, and blah blah blah. And I'm saying like before the holidays, you will submit your first government proposals before the holidays. You're just like, cool. And see, what's really cool is like, you'll have a winning proposal. All you'll need to do, if you see another opportunity, is modify it and then submit it again. You won't have to start all over because you have your opportunity matrix that we create for you and that you just add to. Oh, but it gets more better. You will also have, for those that are signing up, the first 20 registrants, you'll also have a one-to-one with me where we'll go through your entire marketing strategy for your business so that you easily input government contracting, doing business with the government right into your existing business so that no effects occur. It's a seamless thing, no ripples in the water, smooth. That's for the first 20. Now, I know we don't have 20 people on the call today, but here's what I'm telling you. You want to get your spot right now. We are running a workshop next week and another masterclass. We will fill up. This program is fire. Would you agree that this is fire? Like, this is basically making money without doing anything. You're just going to make your millions without doing anything. Imagine making 6-7 figures this year without doing very much, you know? So really, really simple. We want to make it easy, no brainer, easy, simple for you to take action. Because pros take action. Pros take action. So that's the thing. That's the thing. Okay. Is there any questions? Anything like that? Any questions? Yes. Cool. Laura.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah. Yeah. I
Oh,
can hear you.
sorry. Melinda, I'm sorry. I'm out and listening to it because I didn't want to get off the workshop. And I can't see the chat because I dropped my phone in the middle of what you were telling us about. So, is there somewhere we can go to see the whole document? And what do we do? Do we make an appointment with you? How do we do that? And sorry if I missed it, but I think I dropped my phone at the crucial time.
It's okay. So I'm going to send you guys the link. I want to make sure this link works. Application.
It's just I lost all the chat when I had to come
Okay.
back into the call. Yeah.
So I'm going to put the link in there. That
Perfect.
link is to book a call.
Okay.
You're going to book a call. You can also see the entire offer doc that I just shared with you guys and see the entire offer doc. And
Cool.
And this link will also resend it out to everybody with the replay. The replay will be on this page as well. It'll all be there.
Okay.
Awesome questions.
Thanks, Melinda. I'm actually going to jump off the call.
Okay.
I'm definitely interested. I'm going to book a call, and I will speak to you soon. It's like 7 o'clock here in London.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'm just trying to wait, but I will book a call. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it, and speak to you soon.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thanks for coming. We
Thanks
got a
so
little bit
much.
more. We got a little bit more. So you'll definitely check out the replay. We got a little bit more left. Any other questions? Anybody else have questions? So much fun. Samantha's like, awesome. Awesome. Okay. Samantha, what's up, my friend?
Hey, so this is very exciting. And yes, it does sound so easy. And I was like, okay, they're going to help you with the proposal and get you all set up like that. So my question is, I don't know if is this part of like the business prep or the post award, like when you are awarded the contract, like for a solopreneur, are you doing the work yourself or are you hiring someone to do the work? I think that's where I get stuck the most because like, wait, am I the fulfill this requirement, the scope of work alone, or hiring people to do the work for me? And is that where the setup in the front end of the business occurs, or is that post award?
That's during the setup. Such a great question.
Okay.
That's during the setup. So really, who's going to do what? That's really important. It's part of understanding what opportunities that we're going to look at, which ones are going to be the right fit for our company right now. It doesn't need to be you. It
Sure.
could be a mixture of contractors. It could be a mixture of employees. It gets to be your decision. What I will say from experience in working with so many companies is we always want to look at what the profit margin is, and make it make sense for you. So we want to stay above a certain range, whether it's 50%, 70%, stay above that range for contingency, because there could be an add-on to the project. There could be so many different things that we need to take in consideration. And we don't want to break even ever, right? So what do we need to do so that we're not tying you up, but we're also bringing the right experts to get the work done?
Okay, good. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Great question. Great question. Yeah, I mean, just super easy, straightforward. Got the link. Thank you. So easy, awesome. Yeah, we just want to make it easy because would you agree there's a lot of information? If there's just a lot of information on the internet,
So much.
so much, right? Like, where do you, you said earlier, you get stuck at the implementation.
Right. Yeah. So implementation, from targeting, finding the right database for the opportunities. I know Sam is out there, but that is so much, oh my God, this makes my brain hurt. Um, and then actually preparing for the not pre- well preparing to write the proposal and submitting and all the questions and stuff like that. So I think for me, because I was doing it as a solopreneur, being responsible for all those steps made it feel just really overwhelming for me. And I said, I'm just gonna wait until I feel more prepared for this type of opportunity. And I felt really small, I think. So I couldn't see me being a solopreneur and doing government contracts. That's, I think, at the heart of it.
Okay. So what type of opportunities, I just kind of want to shed some light on that. What type of opportunities were you looking at
I was
specifically?
looking at training opportunities because I do a lot of training in the consulting and training, and finding those opportunities. There were some out there, of course, but I think I also wasn't super clear or on the NAICS codes that I needed to be using so that I could do what I felt not just capable of doing, but being able to stretch myself a little bit too.
Okay. Let me write that down. There's a few things I want to share with you, Samantha, that will help just take that burden off of you. And I want to go in order. So the last thing you said was NAICS. The second thing you said was order. And the first was size, capability. Okay. So if this is what you decide, you're like, I just want to start out by myself, right? And just go after things that I can do, right?
Right.
Your typical government contract will always be 10 times larger in value, like the financial value, than a private sector client. So if you do a workshop, let's say you're just spitballing here, if you do a workshop, and there are so many technology workshops right now. But anyway, So if you do a workshop and it's a 2-day workshop, you have the opportunity to offload that to somebody else or do it yourself.
Mm-hmm.
If you make $150,000 on a 2-day workshop, would you do it yourself or would you outsource it?
I'd probably do it myself.
And then that can give you some runway to maybe hire
Mm-hmm.
part-time for someone to support you when you do it in person. That way you're just focused on the training and not the setup.
Got it.
So
Mm-hmm.
that's one strategy. The other strategy is partnering, doing like a JV partnership and forming an entity with somebody else who can bring something new to the table.
Mm-hmm.
So like you do one portion and then the two of you couple together and you deliver on that same 2-day workshop and you just split the revenue. This is split what's coming in, right? You could do it that way. Or you can just become the middleman and just, hey, so-and-so, there's this workshop and I'll just get a referral marketing fee for it.
Mm-hmm. Look, you see, I like that.
So there's different strategies, and it all starts with getting your business set up, because then when we get to strategy and we know our business is set up to do what, who's buying what that we can deliver on, this is how we want to approach this. Now we know exactly what our message is to different buyers, to the government buyers, to our potential partners, to our team. Like, it's clear. It's like the message is crystal clear because we have an intentional strategy.
Mm-hmm.
We're not missing out on opportunities. We're growing our brand strategically.
Okay.
So it's not necessarily that you have to prime and do all the work yourself. You can be really strategic on how you get your message, how you get your voice, how you get your presence out there in B2G. The second thing you said was order. So we just talked a little bit about that. And it just goes back to strategy. It's about relationships with the client. Now, when I say relationships, I don't mean, do you know them, their first name, their dog's name, their kid's name? No, that's not what I mean. That's really business development. That's definitely pro level stuff that I want you to be at. But in terms of order, do your due diligence first before you respond.
Mm-hmm.
You could totally respond to an RFP right now, today. You're going to increase your chances of better scoring and a better first impression if you do your due diligence.
Right.
That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The last thing that you mentioned was NAICS codes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know which ones, like, da-da-da. And so, just like a quick tip, NAICS codes are, sometimes it's challenging to find all of the opportunities under one NAICS code.
Right.
Because the government, whichever agency, office, whomever department, they're limited to the amount of NAICS codes that they can use to advertise an opportunity. So it's a mixture of NAICS codes and doing market research and reading the scope of work. It's a little bit of both.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a little dance. So it just goes back to market research and the strategy. It just says, okay, so what can you do? Because you might, like, there might be a training in hospitality for technology. There
Mm-hmm.
might be a training for in Department of Transportation that would be perfect for you. There might be a training in import export that's perfect for you. Like, so it's kind of like you kind of need to just do, if you're signing up for this workshop, this program, we got you. That's what my team is trained to do, is to find those opportunities that nobody is looking at and be really strategic about positioning But if you do it yourself, yes, it'll take time. It'll take time to find those. The easier apples are at the top where the NICS codes are, but to go deeper and to find those beautiful gems, it requires you to just read through, find out what this opportunity is for, look at the scope of work, learn a little bit more about that client and what their goals are with this project, follow the money, like just going through the system. Does that help
Oh,
make
yes.
it make sense a little bit? Okay.
Yes, absolutely. And I'm actually in the DMV area. So are there any like places or networking that I can tap into?
You're in D.
I just moved here 2 weeks ago. So
Oh my gosh. Okay. Are you thinking about doing a workshop?
I am. Yeah.
Okay. You're in prime real. You're exactly where you need to be. I'll just put
Hmm.
it that way.
Yeah.
Um, you're exactly where you need to be on so many levels because of what you do. Yes, exactly, Raphael. Money bank. It's the bank. Okay, so you're in the DMV area. You're in the middle of 3 different districts that buy like crazy. You're
Hmm.
local. So this is now local. Now you're tapping into local, state, and federal because you're in DMV.
Hmm.
Now you can go into one office. Like the rest of the country who does not live in the DMV cannot do this. You
Hmm.
have an opportunity to just go into one office and ask what's going on in town, what's going on in the city, what are the new programs, new laws, and they will just give you everything. I have so many clients that are in DMV area, and they like the procurement officers are just waiting for you to ask that question.
Wow.
Like
Okay.
if you go in there and say, hey, these are my NICS codes and I'm looking for these opportunities, they're going to give you exactly what you asked for. If you say, hey, I do workshops and trainings, they're going to be like, what do you train on?
Hmm.
I train on this, that, and the other. If you stay focused on what you deliver, they will deliver. They
Okay.
will deliver because their goal, again, is to spend money. They're like, how do I spend money the fastest?
Okay. Okay. Wow. Okay. That puts a different spin on it because you're thinking, oh, they have this immediate, this urgent need, but it's just about how can I use this money that I have for this budget that I have right now. Okay.
They have, so what they start out with, and I don't want to talk too much, but like they, so every office starts out with a budget, a wish list, if you will.
Hmm.
And the majority of items get onto the budget. But if you tell them what you can do and they have extra money in contingency,
Hmm.
they'll keep you on speed dial to add anything else from their wish list that they originally thought could not fit on their budget.
Wow. Okay. Good to
It's
know.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for sure, reach out to your local office, just pick up the phone and call them and say,
Hmm.
hey, can I schedule a time to come into the office?
Okay.
And they will be like, yes.
Okay, then. Awesome.
Yeah,
Thank you.
absolutely. Absolutely. Awesome. All right. I'm going to drop the link one more time. And this is amazing. And then I'm going to wrap up the last section of the GovCon Millions Masterclass. This was so much fun. This was so much fun. You guys really played it all out. This is so good. Oh, I love my job. Okay. All right. So let's go into the last section and then we'll end on a high note. Get excited. Link is in the chat, all that fun stuff. Okay. And the deadline for applying is, we had to select a date because again, we were just kind of, it's September 30th because we need to make sure that our reservations, everything are done. You have to order tablets and stuff like that. Okay. So you know how there is a law of the universe, right? The law of polarity, that there are two sides to everything. Newton's first law of motion, which is an object at rest stays at rest, and an object in motion stays in motion with the same speed and in the same direction unless acted upon by an unbalanced force. Today, I want to talk about the law of advancement. It works like this. Thank you, Raphael. In nature, before anything can go up, it has to go down first. So we have a seed, and that seed is sitting there thinking, I want to be a tree, right? No, you don't want to be a tree. Yes, I want to be a tree. I want to be a tree. I want to be a tree. But before that tree, that seed can actually grow into a big, strong tree, what does it have to do? What does it have to do? Tell me in the chat. What does a seed have to do before it can be a tree? Die and grow roots. Okay, I like it. It has to decide. Wither and die? Yes, but the first thing, those are all right. Good job. The first thing it has to do, it has to go down into the ground. And once it gets down there, what does it have to do? It has to be willing to cease being a seed. Ooh. Saturday church. Today is Saturday church, y'all. In order for you to become everything that you can become, you must be willing to stop being what you've been so that you can become all that you are supposed to become. So the seed goes down into the ground, and then it no longer becomes a seed, and it grows up and becomes a tree. So let's say that tree is growing on the edge of a cliff, and it just starts to shade the edge of the cliff. That's its job. That's what it's meant to be. That's where it's supposed to be planted. That's where it's supposed to go. You ever tried to jump without first bending your knees? Think about it. If you want to stand up and try to jump without bending your knees. It's really hard. It's near impossible. You have to bend your knees. That's how God created everything. Bend your knees before you can jump. And when you bend your knees even further, you jump higher. You go further down, you jump higher. You go higher and higher and higher. I mean, we don't have a choice of like not going higher. We're supposed to go higher. Everything was created to grow. And if it does not grow, it dies. But even when it grows, something grows, it dies from what it used to be. See, the identity that we carry is not meant to be the identity that we will last with forever. It is an identity to carry us through this season to get to the next season where we have a new identity. We can't have both. We can't have our dreams and desires with this old identity, because this old identity doesn't know how to have the dreams and desires. its only job is to get you to the point where you can let go and go higher and step into your new identity. See what I'm saying? It's like, how do I get there? What do I do? How do I do it? There's this story about a man, and all he wanted to do, his life dream was to climb the highest mountain. Do you guys know what the highest mountain in the world is? I'm gonna put it in the chat. You want to guess? The highest mountain in the world. Raphael says Kilimanjaro. I'm gonna look it up. In the world. Google says Mount Everest. He wanted to climb the highest mountain in the world. He was like, I want to climb the highest mountain. And he had two options. First option was to ask and to train with someone who has climbed the mountain before, Mount Everest. And the second option was to buy a book written by the man who climbed the mountain. He's like, well, I'm on my way home. I can stop by Barnes and Nobles and pick up the book. Could probably have it read by this weekend. And I can start climbing next week. That sounds great. Does that sound great? You can start climbing the Mount Everest, the tallest mountain in the world, by next week. Does that sound great? That sounds amazing. Oh my gosh. All I need is a book. That does sound dangerous, Samantha. Yes, indeed. But you have the book. The book is going to go step by step exactly how to get to the peak and back down without killing yourself. That's the title of the book. And he's like, I'm going to go get that book for $29.95. And I'm going to go climb that mountain next week. Yes, I'm going to do it. We all know it's dangerous. Are you crazy? So what should the guy do? Tell me in the chat. What should he do? Should he give up in his dream? What should the guy do? Practice and put it into action. What is in the book? So he can still do it on his own. He doesn't need a guide. Would you agree that there are nuances to a hike like that? There's like the small details that didn't get through to the publisher. The publisher was like, that doesn't fit. Let's take that out. So many nuances, right? Wouldn't it be better and safer and faster if that man that went to go get the book, he can get the book. But what if he had the guy guide him, the man that actually climbed the mountain, came down, did it safely? What if that was his guide? What if he climbed the mountain with that guy? Would his success rate be higher? This is kind of like a no-da. 100%. I know. We are. Sounds really dangerous. I'm just imagining a man, like he is grinning from ear to ear, got all his gear, his brand new gear. Some of the things still have the tag on him. He's got a book in his back pocket rolled up, and he pulls it out and he's like, all right, with his hiking boots and books. Okay, I got to do that. All right, close it. It keeps going up. And then he trips and falls, or there's a snowstorm. There's the wind is too strong. And he's flipping through the book. I know I read it somewhere. Oh, it's one sentence long. A guide. You know, having a guide. I mean, I've invested. I'm up to $350,000, I think. $350,000 in business and personal development. I have learned from the best of the best, top 1% of the Christian consultants, and I would happily give them my money. And I would happily give my money if I was to go faster using a system that's proven and a strategy that I did not pick up from Barnes & Noble for $29.95. Because they are going to tell me and teach me all the nuances that are on the journey that I am not aware of. They're going to fill my pack. They're going to tell me what should be in my pack. The small little things. How am I supposed to tie my rope? How should I wear my backpack? How heavy my backpack should be? How should I tie my shoelaces? Should I go with plastic spikes or metal spikes? Should I wear sunscreen or sunblock? Should I prepare, like condition before the hike? What should I do in my conditioning? All things the book is not going to give us. It might tell us the steps, but it won't teach us the way. Cool. 100%. This is so much fun. Thank you for allowing me 2 extra minutes for this masterclass. This was amazing. This was so much fun. Woo! All right, unmute everybody. I want to just like a big woohoo. Let's go woohoo, and we'll end. Woohoo! That was so much fun. Pot tea.
Thank you so much, Melinda.
You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. God bless you. This is amazing. Yes, so make sure you book a time, and I'll see you in the calls, and we'll talk all the things, and make sure it's the right fit for you, because I want you to go to the highest mountain peak and then come back and get more people. That's our goal. That's our purpose, is to help others win too. All right, my friends, enjoy your weekend. I'll talk to you soon. God bless.
Bye.